Coming up, one politician makes a special visit to a history class. We'll find out just who it was.
And students adjust to the first weeks of being on campus with Welcome Week activities.
Plus, we look at one way students got to get out of the classroom and into the ballpark. I'm Itedra Clopton.
And I'm Taylor Van Fleet.
Thank you for joining us as we bring you the updates on what's happening around campus.
From the campus of Kirkwood Community College, this is KSP News with Itedra Clopton and Taylor Van Fleet. Marcus Schupp with sports. You're watching Kirkwood Student Productions.
One U.S. history class got to meet a surprise guest. We go to Chris Ackman, who has our story.
It's not every day that students receive the chance to be able to ask a U.S. Senator any type of question they want.
You know, I don't get this question asked, so if I don't rush to an answer.
No question was off limits when Senator Chuck Grassley visited campus to hold an open Q&A with this U.S. history class. The questions ranged in topics from Grassley's thoughts on the Second Amendment to whether he prefers to live in Iowa or Washington, D.C.
Washington is a nice city. I don't think I'd like to live there. I guess the best way to say it is I don't dislike Washington. I like my work, but I like Iowa better.
Grassley also took time to address the current situation in Syria.
I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say 50-1 phone calls coming to my office, even though I'm not in Washington. You're still getting phone calls on this. And I would say 50-1 against any involvement in Syria.
And Senator Grassley said that the reason why he made the visit to campus was because he was beginning to notice a lack of young people at his town hall meetings. He said he would like to see more. Reporting outside of Benton Hall, Chris Ackman, KSP News.
Students arriving on campus received a warm welcome to college with a whole host of events and activities. KSP's Drake Clemmy has our story.
Kirkwood Community College kicked off the beginning of the fall semester with their Movin' and Shakin' event. Multiple clubs and organizations from within Kirkwood and the surrounding area participated in the event, and each had their own booth set up to attract students.
So we have a handful of clubs and organizations, we have a handful of departments. There's probably, I think there's 23 different on-campus groups, and then we have another 23 sponsors for our Welcome Week event. In terms of the clubs, we have a lot of, the soccer clubs, student ambassadors, our dance marathon. We've got our Alumni and Friends program here on campus. A lot of different departments, from our counseling services to our campus health office, tutoring services, the library, the bookstore, some of those types of places.
Many students and faculty attended the event, joining in on all of the free food, prizes, and games.
It's going great. We've had a wonderful turnout, a lot of students all over, so perfect weather, can't beat it.
Overall, Kirkwood's Movin' and Shakin' event turned out to bring in many students, showing them all of the clubs and organizations that Kirkwood has to offer. But although this event was more directed towards students, it didn't stop some faculty from having fun as well.
I did do the dunk tank earlier, yeah. It was cold, but it went well. It was a lot of fun. We've got 9 great people on campus that were willing to be in the dunk tank for 20 minutes, and unfortunately, I guess for me, I had to sit in there for 20 minutes, but it all went well and it was fun, and I enjoyed being dunked a few times.
Drake Clemmy, KSP News.
While the last days of summer are approaching, one way students make the most of their time is by bike riding. When students need a break from studying or just want to get some light exercise, they can head out to the trail located near campus.
Coming up on KSP News, the baseball team will have a new look when out on the field this season.
Our sports producer, Marcus Schupp, will tell us more. Stay tuned.
Student Life is in charge of 80 clubs and organizations and is also in charge of the activities that go on around campus. Student Life is half activity-based and half club-based. Student Life is the event planner and the banker for all the clubs that they work with. So anything the clubs want to do, Student Life will aid them in getting it organized. For more information, stop in at 230 Iowa Hall or online at www.kirkwood.edu/clubs.
Welcome back.
We're turning to Marcus Schupp now with sports. Marcus?
Thanks, Taylor. Every new season brings new opportunities, even for a program as prestigious as Kirkwood Volleyball. We talked to 3 of their top players to see what they have to say about the ongoing season.
Kirkwood's volleyball team looks ready to take on the 2013 season from both a physical and mental aspect.
I think every year we prepare for the long, hard season by just making sure every practice we put 100% into everything and really focusing on technique. And as for the mental side of it, we just are constantly supporting each other.
With all the work they put in, their morale seems to be great.
I think our team's morale this season is pretty high. We get excited. We have really good chemistry on and off the court. We're friends outside the court, so as soon as practice is done, we're all hanging out. We get ready for games by playing music in the locker rooms, talking about the game, talking about our strategy.
With this chemistry they've created, the team is ready to take on another deep run in the playoffs.
Well, our expectations are hopefully to go to nationals. I expect to go to nationals, especially being a returner and having gone last year. But I know that it requires a lot of hard work.
The sophomores are very happy to see what the many freshmen can bring to the game.
Peyton Hilton, she's one of the middles. She's come a long way. She came in not knowing where she was actually going to play, and she's really improved a lot with middle. We also have Heather Pala, who plays our right side, and she's phenomenal. We can put her wherever, and she's very consistent. So those 2 have really impressed me this year.
You have more chances to watch the Eagles in the coming month. Free Colonels tickets? Now that sounds too good to be true. But that's exactly what Kirkwood offered students at the start of this school year. We sat down with students and Colonel management personnel who talked about the great opportunity.
With the school year starting, it's good for students to get out of the classroom once in a while. Kirkwood offered free tickets to students who attended the August 27th Colonels game.
Well, first of all, Kirkwood is such a wonderful community partner and has grown so large and has so many students enrolled. And it really was a wonderful idea. We do this twice a year, once in the spring and then once in the fall, where Kirkwood will provide a ticket to all Kirkwood students that come to a Colonel's game. And it has really worked out well.
This was a good opportunity for students to take a break from their studies and enjoy some free fun.
I wanted to do something just to get out and see what's all through, like Cedar Rapids and everything. It's really interesting so far. I enjoy it.
There are many more places students could go to take a break and have some fun.
We have wonderful museums, such as our History Museum, our Art Museum, the African American Museum to tour.
The Colonels say they like the enthusiasm the students bring to the ballpark.
They bring so much enthusiasm when they come to the game and really cheer on the Colonels, and what they do is their enthusiasm's infectious. So not only are they having a great time, but then pretty soon everybody in the crowd's having a great time.
The Kirkwood baseball team will be making some changes during the spring season. For the first time in 30 years, the baseball team will be sporting new uniforms.
Students attending Kirkwood baseball games this spring semester might notice a change. Players wearing different uniforms.
We have an opportunity this year to get a new set of uniforms, and what we're going to do is we're going to change. For the last 30-some years they've had navy and white uniforms, and we're going to switch it to the school colors.
Well, I haven't seen the jerseys yet, but they're going to be black, white, and royal. Those are our new colors. And then we got camo practice uniforms that have been ordered. So I've seen one display jersey, but so they're going to look pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited for those.
Although the change may be small, the meaning is big.
It was a big decision because there's a lot of history in the baseball program here, and the one thing we didn't want to do is affect the history, and we didn't want to change what anybody thought or step on anybody's toes, because the history to our baseball program and what people have done for our program is tremendous. We're just excited that the college is supporting this. I mean, what a tremendous opportunity. It unifies all of us in the athletic department as far as colors, and that's important to us. You know, we are the Kirkwood Eagles, and we're proud to be the Eagles and represent this great college.
The design for the uniforms is also changing slightly, focusing more around Kirkwood's Eagle logo. Drake Clemmy, KSP News.
The final design for the uniforms has not been decided upon, but will be unveiled next semester during the spring season. Back to you, Itedra and Taylor.
On the other side of the break, we'll get a first look into the next edition of the Communique.
And we'll find out if students really were hypnotized during the Welcome Week activities.
Anime is a wonderful pastime.
Not regular TV, it's animation.
Anime is the gathering of people to watch cartoons. If you love a community that won't judge you,
Just come on down and walk right in.
And make them an offer they can't refuse.
Inside of many, there is a need to help and heal. At Kirkwood Community College, it only takes 2 years to earn one of the many degrees offered for veterinary technicians. With the hands-on experience that Kirkwood vet techs receive, they learn how to help put a smile on a proud owner's face. And maybe even your dog as well. Don't believe me? Well, I think you just saw your answer.
Our media partner, the Communique, has completed its first edition of the fall.
Let's go now to Gavin Jones with the latest stories that you can find in the current issue of the Communique.
Thanks. Senator Grassley speaks to students on campus about current issues such as legalizing marijuana, gun control, and terrorism. Theater students are preparing the set and rehearsing for the fall production, Dedication, or The Stuff of Dreams. Kirkwood's volleyball team is ranked 8th in the nation, and players speak about their dedication to the team. You can find these stories and many more on the newsstands now. Back to you, Taylor and Itedra.
Thanks, Gavin. Construction in Ballantyne Auditorium has impacted the routine of Kirkwood's fall play practice. KSP's Alicia Wright tells us why play members are still dedicated to this year's performance.
When choosing the fall play, director Rick Anderson said he talked to Shelley Ford, the scenic designer and lighting designer, and that she thought it would be interesting to choose a play that would fit the space they will be performing in.
Our students will be able to use a fly because we don't have fly in Ballantyne. We have trapdoors in this stage in Coralville. It allows our students to use a lot of technology that they wouldn't get to use here.
On stage, I'm far from flies and trapdoors. I don't know anything about those.
When asked about their biggest concerns regarding performing in Coralville, the actors had several different responses.
I really don't have any. I know how well Rick has done in the past, and so I believe it's going to be great.
There's a lot of serious issues. It's a very serious play. It's a very adult play. And that's kind of my biggest concern is, can we wake up the morning of showtime and, give it all we got, give the best performance, and really what the playwright wants it to be.
I have to jump a lot while holding objects, and my biggest fear is not being able to make the jump onto the stage. And so I have a lot of work to do on my mad hops.
One unusual feature of the play is that not all the acting takes place on the stage.
The audience gets to be involved, not necessarily on stage, but us actors, we go into the audience and we actually use the balconies and all the aspects of the theater. So the audience will be sitting there, actors will be acting behind them, and obviously on stage.
Alicia Wright, KSP News.
Hypnotist Brian Imbus performed during Welcome Week to a captivated audience. More than 800 people attended the event in Johnson Hall. Around 30 volunteers were selected to participate on stage and get hypnotized. A number of students in the crowd unexpectedly joined in on the hypnotic fun as well. For a list of other upcoming events here on campus, please visit kirkwood.edu/studentlife.com. That's it for this edition of KSP News.
From all of us at Kirkwood Student Productions, we thank you for watching.